Can you tell me, tell us exactly what happened and your memories of that day?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 craziest stories that should have been on The Crown.
They used terms like darling, so it would have set tongues wagging that there was potentially something going on.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most significant historical events relating to the British royal family that we're surprised aren't included in the historical drama. Which real-life events would you like to see in Season 6? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Taj Mahal photo. Season 5 of the Netflix original shows the tail end of Charles and Diana's ill-fated marriage. It covers events from 1991 to 1997, during which time their relationship was especially turbulent.
I would think that the top job would put big limits on him, and I'm not sure how he would cope with that.
What the hell is she doing?
What it doesn't depict, however, is the story behind a famous picture of Diana from 1992. The photograph shows the People's Princess seated alone in front of the Taj Mahal. Despite the beautiful setting and subject, the image feels a little sorrowful.
And I could have been brought out of my shell. All I needed was the confidence from being loved by you.
Charles, who was also in India at the time, attended a different engagement instead of visiting the monument with his wife. The couple ended up separating later that year.
It is understood that both parties have lived apart for 2 years prior to the petition, and that the respondent consents to the granting of this decree.
More than 2 decades later, their son William posed for a photo in the same place with his wife, Kate Middleton. Number 9. Squidgygate. Members of the British royal family have had their private phone conversations exposed to the public more than once.
How can they get away with this? It's a private conversation. Private matter between 2 adults. No one else's business.
The show depicts one scandal involving Charles and Camilla, often called Tampongate, but leaves out another we would have liked to see. A recording of Diana's phone call with childhood friend James Gilby caused a stir when it was exposed in 1992.
What was that?
What?
I heard a click. Did you hear it?
The conversation itself occurred on December 31st, 1989, before Diana's separation from Charles. The old friends discussed a range of topics, from soap operas to the Queen Mother to Diana's fear of being pregnant. Throughout the recording, Gilby addresses the royal as Squidgy or Squidge numerous times.
I'm not answering that. I'm not speaking on this thing again, ever. I heard a click.
Number 8. Diana's affair with Major James Hewitt.
The marriage was effectively over, and they started to find comfort in the arms of others. How many others?
The Netflix series downplays a couple of Diana's romances, but we're especially shocked more wasn't included about her 5-year-long affair with Major James Hewitt.
Well.
Once a member of the household cavalry, Hewitt was acting as her riding instructor when their affair began. Their relationship reportedly lasted from 1986 to 1991 and was officially revealed to the public in the mid-90s.
A lot of people describing him as the cad, the one who broke all the rules, but actually he probably helped keep Diana sane during that very difficult time.
After it ended, he spoke about it in Anna Pasternak's 1994 book Princess in Love. The princess herself admitted to the tryst during her famous BBC interview in 1995, which is depicted in episode 8 of season 5. The former cavalry officer is seen in the season 4 episode Avalanche, but the show fails to represent the seriousness of his relationship with Diana.
Calling pop culture superfans everywhere. Do you love to argue with WatchMojo's top 10 ranks? Introducing WatchMojo's first and very own party game. Bring your superpowers to the table and fight for your pick to be at the top of the list. It's all the fun of the comment section, but in real life.
Number 7. Diana and Charles's tense trip to South Korea.
Question for the princess. What part of the tour are you most looking forward to?
Oh gosh, so many.
Plenty of scenes from The Crown depict the former Prince and Princess of Wales fighting while on vacation. However, the show fails to include one ill-fated trip in particular, which would have been interesting to see. In 1992, Charles and Diana traveled to South Korea on what was referred to as the Togetherness Tour. The purpose of the visit was apparently to demonstrate the strength of their marriage to the public.
What do you think? Shall we give them some of the old magic?
Well, come on then, let's blow them away.
However, it was obvious that by that point, the royals couldn't stand each other. Photographs from the trip revealed the tension between the two spouses. In the end, the pair's last attempt at touring as a happy couple was a failure.
And then...
Number 6. Camilla and Diana's confrontation. Charles, Camilla, and Diana's love triangle plays a major role in seasons 4 and 5 of The Crown. However, the show leaves out one event that would have made for great TV.
We were all upstairs and I was chatting away and I suddenly noticed that there was no Camilla and no Charles upstairs. So this disturbs me.
Diana once reportedly confronted Camilla about her affair with Charles at Camilla's sister's birthday party in 1989. The current queen consort apparently responded by telling Charles's then-wife that she had everything she could ever want, before asking her what else she wanted. The People's Princess is said to have replied by saying she wanted her husband.
I said to Camilla, I'm sorry I'm in the way. I obviously am in the way. And it must be hell for both of you. But I didn't know what's going on, don't you know?
The story has been recounted in numerous separate books, including Andrew Morton's Diana, Her True Story. Although the series depicts Diana recording her experiences for Morton, it doesn't show her mentioning the confrontation.
I cried like I've never cried before. It was anger. It was 7 years of pent-up anger coming out.
Number 5. Brighton Hotel explosion. Lasting from the late 1960s to 1998, the Northern Ireland conflict took up a significant portion of Elizabeth II's reign. That being said, it doesn't get much attention in the Netflix show.
The time has come to escalate our efforts, redouble our militancy, spill more blood so that the crown retreats and leaves Ireland forever.
While the 1979 assassination of Louis Mountbatten by the IRA is depicted in episode 1 of season 4, the IRA's bombing of the Grand Brighton Hotel in 1984 is completely left out.
Experts believe the bomb was planted on the 5th floor. The explosion caused 3 floors to collapse. Despite the early hour, this lobby and the hotel bars had been packed with politicians, delegates, and journalists.
The attack aimed to assassinate then Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and her cabinet, who were attending a Conservative Party convention. Although Thatcher survived, 5 people lost their lives and over 30 others were hurt. Considering the severity of the event, it would have been interesting to see how the public figures might have handled it in private.
I will wage a war against the Irish Republican Army with relentless determination and without mercy until that war is won.
Number 4. Mark Phillips's affair. As the series depicts, the British family is no stranger to affairs and divorces. However, most of the drama surrounding Princess Anne's 2 marriages are glossed over by the show. Her relationship with Mark Phillips in particular had lots of ups and downs that aren't included.
Yes, how is Mark? That's it, exactly like that. How is Mark? Mark's fine.
The two separated in 1989 following intimate correspondence between Anne and Sir Timothy Lawrence being reported on by The Sun.
The Sun might not have published the letters, but they still got their story.
Although the Sun newspaper hadn't published the content of the letters, it was known that they were affectionate.
In 1991, it was revealed that Phillips had a child born outside of their marriage in 1985. He and Anne divorced soon after in 1992. She and Lawrence were married later that year. Although season 3 imagines the princess's relationship with Andrew Parker Bowles, seasons 4 and 5 fail to comprehensively explore the specifics surrounding her other romantic dramas.
Are you in love? I think I am. Does everyone disapprove? Almost certainly. Then dig in.
Number 3. A prank phone call. Although season 5 doesn't show it, in 1995 the Queen was pranked by Canadian radio host Pierre Brassard. He called Buckingham Palace claiming to be then Prime Minister Jean Chrétien and had a conversation with Elizabeth II that lasted many minutes.
Your Majesty, I'm really stressed out of these days.
I'm sure you are.
The Canadian political situation is very critical.
Yes.
They spoke about an upcoming referendum in Quebec and the monarch's Halloween activities. At one point, the Queen seemingly asks an advisor for their opinion. They even spoke in French for a bit. While many of the events on this list are scandalous or traumatic, this prank was mostly harmless.
Oh, yes. You are clever.
The palace was reportedly annoyed by it, calling it, quote, a waste of the Queen's time. However, it revealed her humanity, which is exactly what the Netflix series tries to do.
I said to Your Majesty, I'm sorry that somebody has caused you this problem. You know, you must have been surprised. She said, of course I've been very surprised. I thought that you were drunk.
Number 2. The Queen survives assassination attempts.
I left Greece in an orange crate. My father would have been killed. My grandfather was. I'm just trying to protect you.
From whom? The British people?
3 reported attempts on Queen Elizabeth II's life went unacknowledged by the show depicting her reign. The first happened in 1970 while the monarch was in Australia. She and Prince Philip were traveling when the train they were on was nearly derailed by a log on the tracks. Luckily, disaster was avoided.
It was long and hot and arduous.
Yes.
But we worked together.
As a team.
More than a decade later, in 1981, 2 separate assassination attempts were made, both by male teens. The first happened on the 13th of June when Marcus Sargent fired multiple blanks at the Queen as she made her way to the Trooping the Colour.
Then there was, like I said, about 3 of us that came in from his right and behind, and got him over the railing into the street itself. And then the constables came and took him.
Months later, in October, she was visiting New Zealand when Christopher John Lewis attempted to take her life. Number 1. The attempt to take Princess Anne. This is one event we thought for sure would be included in Season 3.
I know you value your privacy, but I think there's a lot about you that they would like if they got a chance. The fact that you're generally good value for money.
When she was 23, the Princess Royal and some of her companions were riding in her car when they were halted on the mall by a Ford Escort.
The essence of the operation was this car overtook us and stopped. This was going up the Mall, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock? 8 o'clock night, I suppose. And it was fairly empty. And the Mall isn't all that well lit either.
After exiting the Ford, Ian Ball succeeded in shooting Anne's chauffeur and her police officer, whose weapon had gotten stuck. He then attempted to take the Royal, hoping to get money out of it. But the Queen's daughter reportedly kept her cool.
And we had a fairly low-key discussion about the fact that I wasn't going to go anywhere. And wouldn't it be much better if you just went away and we'd all forget about it?
2 others, Brian McConnell and police constable Michael Hills, approached the scene. But Ball fired at them too. In the end, Anne was rescued with help from passerby Ron Russell. The culprit was caught, and those hurt during the incident recovered. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.